Hello everyone, myself Milan Patil. As you know, we are going to continue our lesson on chemical effect of electric current. The part 1 of this lesson is already uploaded. You can watch that video. I will also put the link in the description box. So today we are going to continue with this lesson. Let us recapitulate what we have learned in the previous class. In the previous session, we have learned about what is electric current. We have also seen the cause of electricity. We have classified the substances based on whether they have the ability to conduct electricity or no as conductors and insulators. And we have also seen good conducting and poor conducting liquid. Last class, I have ended the session with one question. Which of these two will conduct electricity? Whether it is NaCl solution, that is salt solution, or sugar solution. If you have done the activity, then you will definitely able to tell me that salt solution conduct electricity, whereas sugar solution do not conduct electricity. So there are some liquid which conduct electricity, whereas there are some liquid which do not conduct electricity. So water mixed with salt, we have noted the LED was glowing, so it is good conducting or good conductor. Lemon juice, the LED was glowing, so again a good conductor, a good conducting liquid. Kerosene, on the other hand, LED was not glowing, so it becomes a poor conductor. Distilled water does not conduct electricity. That means LED was not glowing, so it is poor conductor. So here in the table we can segregate that these two, that is water mixed with salt, or you can say salt solution, and then we have lemon juice, both of them conduct electricity, whereas kerosene and distilled water do not conduct electricity. So the liquid that allow electric current to pass through them are termed as electrolyte. So we have a new term now. Good conducting liquid is also termed as electrolyte. Okay, good conducting liquid, we call them as electrolyte. So what are electrolyte? Liquid substances that allow electric current to pass through them. Whereas non-electrolyte are those substances which do not allow electric current to pass through them. We have seen this with examples in the last session. So let us list some of the substances that we can call them as electrolyte and some of the substances which we call them as non-electrolyte. Based on the previous experiment, we can conclude that tap water, in which salts are dissolved, so tap water conduct electricity. Common salt is another example. So common salt mixed in water or salt solution also conduct electricity. Nitric acid, hydrochloric acid, vinegar, lemon juice. Some of the more example will be NaOH, okay, sodium hydroxide. So which are the substances or which liquid conduct electricity? It can be acids, it can be bases, it can be water mixed with dissolved salts. Okay, these are the substances which allow electric current to pass through them. Whereas pure water, that is distilled water, glucose, that is sugar solution, okay, then kerosene, that is oil, benzene, urea, carbon dioxide, and more examples can be oil, okay, alcohol. All these substances do not conduct electricity. So they are the examples of non-electrolyte. Here you can also perform activity wherein you can find out whether a liquid conducts electricity or not. We have talked about how to make conduction tester in the last session. You can watch that video for more understanding about how to make conduction tester. So with the help of conduction tester, you can test whether a given liquid is electrolyte or non-electrolyte. Now let us learn about chemical effect of electric current. Since this lesson name itself is chemical effect of electric current, let us now understand the meaning of the word. When electric current passes through a conducting solution, it causes chemical reaction. This is called chemical effect of electric current. Let us see it again, or let us read the definition again. When electric current is passed to conducting solution, we have already seen conducting solution means what? Electrolyte. Yes? We have just now seen the word for the conducting solution is electrolyte. So I can also say that when electric current passes through electrolyte, it causes chemical reaction, and this is called chemical effect of electric current. But how do you know whether a chemical reaction has taken place or no? How do you know that whether a chemical reaction has taken place or not? For this to understand, let us see some of the signs or symptoms which will help us to indicate whether a chemical reaction has taken place or not. First of all, the chemical effect of electric current may cause deposit of metal on the electrode. What are electrodes? Okay, when electric current is passed through the conducting solution, that is electrolyte. Okay, electrolyte. There are two rods that you can see here which are dipped. Okay, so these are termed as electrodes. This electrode is connected to positive and negative terminal of the cell. So when these electrodes are dipped into the electrolyte, you will notice metals get deposits at electrode. For example, in this is the electrolyte of sodium chloride, that is salt solution. Okay, so when electricity is passed through salt solution, okay, when electricity is passed to this salt solution, what did you notice? The sodium metal get deposited as one of the electrodes. So this indicates that it causing an chemical reaction. So we are looking at a sign of the indicators which will help us to understand whether a chemical reaction is taken. So this is one example wherein it indicates that chemical reaction must have taken place when. So how do you know? Metals will get deposited at the electrodes. There will be formation of bubbles at electrodes. So this is another indicator. So whenever chemical reaction take place, you can say a sign for a chemical reaction, some kind of gas will be formed, gas will be evolved, bubbles will form. So in this case, you can see at the electrodes, bubble formation is taking place. So this indicates that when electric current pass through an electrolyte, some kind of chemical reaction take place. Okay, so here the indicator is gas bubbles are formed. The third thing that will help us to tell the chemical reaction must have taken place, the color of the solution will change. So in this example, you can note that when electric current is allowed to pass through this electrolyte, you will see that the blue color solution is slowly fading and its color is changing. It's becoming slightly greenish or yellowish in color. So the color of the solution also change. So what are the three signs wherein it tells us that a chemical reaction take place? First of all, metals will get deposits. Metal will deposits at electrode. What is the second sign? Bubbles or gas will form at electrode. And third thing, color will change. So these are the three signs that tell us that when electric current pass through an electrolyte, chemical reaction will take place. So chemical effect of electric current may cause formation of bubbles at the electrode, deposits of the metals on the electrode, and change in the color of the solution. We have seen all these three with examples. Let us now understand the meaning of word electrolysis. Electrolysis is a term used for the chemical change induced by passage of electric current through an electrolyte is termed as electrolysis. We have just now seen what is a chemical effect of electric current. So when an electric current passes through electrolyte, chemical reaction take place. Same thing, the same process is termed as electrolysis. So what do you mean by the term electrolysis? The chemical change that take place when electric current passes through an electrolyte. So let us understand this electrolysis. Now, when we have just now saw that when electric current pass through electrolyte, some kind of chemical reaction take place, and that process is termed as electrolysis, isn't it? So now for the electrolysis to take place, you need certain things. So you need a conducting solution, and that conducting solution or conducting liquid is termed as electrolyte. What is electrolyte? Conducting liquid. So it can be acidic solution, salt solution, or it can be a basic solution. Okay, so anything which will allow electric current to pass through it is termed as electrolyte. Now then you need electrical connection. Then you need two rods here. So these two rods which help us to connect with the electrical circuit. Okay, so this, with the help of these, you can connect it to the cell. Okay, so with the help of these, we will connect it to the cell. So the one which is connected, so here you have two rods. These are termed as electrodes. So what are electrodes? It can be plates or rods through which current will enter into the electrolyte. So these are the 2 points through which electric current will able to come in this liquidic solution or in this liquid or conducting solution. So they are termed as electrode. So there are two electrodes. How two electrodes? One connected to the positive terminal, other one connected to the negative terminal. One which is connected to the positive terminal is termed as anode. The other one which is connected to the negative terminal of the cell is termed as cathode. So there are two electrodes. One is anode, other one is cathode. So the electrode by which the current enter is termed as anode. So how the current will come? We know that the direction of flow of electric current is from positive terminal to the negative terminal of the electric cell. So by conventionally or by default, we say that the direction for the flow of current is from positive to the negative terminal. So since the positive terminal, the electrode which is connected here is termed as anode, so the electricity will enter into the electrolyte through the anode. So the positively charged electrode that is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, as I already told you here, it is positively charged electrode. Okay, so now let us understand the component of this electrolysis process in detail. So as I already told you, how the current will enter into this electrolyte through the positive terminal. So which electrode is connected to the positive terminal? That is the electrode through which connect to the positive terminal is anode. So from the anode, the electric current will enter into the electrolyte. Now, The terminal through which electric current will come out of the electrolyte is termed as negative terminal. And this negative terminal, the name for this is cathode. So what is cathode? The electrode by which the current will exist from an electrolyte is termed as cathode, and it is the negatively charged electrode that is connected to negative terminal of the battery. So these are the components. So first of all, you need electrolyte. Okay, so you need electrolyte. Then you need electrical connection or a cell or a source of electricity, that is battery, cell and thing. Then you need the two plates which will enter into the conducting solution, that is termed as electrodes. This entire setup is termed as electrolytic cell. So for the electrolysis process to take place, you need electrolytic cell. So what is electrolytic cell? Nothing but an apparatus setup wherein you use conducting solution for the process of electrolysis. So you need a conducting solution, that is electrolyte, electrodes and a source of electricity. So entire setup is termed as electrolytic cell. So electrolytic cell is the apparatus consisting of a vessel, as I already told you, in which you put electrolyte, conducting solution, electrodes are there. So the entire setup is termed as electrolytic cell. So you have the container here, then you have the electrolyte. So electrolyte, then there are electrodes here, the second thing, and third thing you need is a source of electricity, a cell or a battery or any other direct source of electricity. So it thus becomes a electrolytic cell. Now let us do one experiment, electrolysis of water. Look at the animation. So when electric current is passed through water, plain water, okay, what happens? Look at the animation. So water is nothing but H2O. That's a chemical symbol for water. So what happens when electric current passes through water? Hydrogen and oxygen gas are splitted. So when electric current is passed through water, oxygen and hydrogen, both of them get separated, and you see the bubble formation at the electrode. And why the bubbles are forming at the electrode? So bubble indicate that hydrogen gas and oxygen gas are separated from the water, and therefore you notice bubble formation. So at which electrode hydrogen gas is formed, and at which electrode oxygen gas is formed? Hydrogen gas is getting deposited at this negative terminal, and the oxygen gas is getting deposited at the positive terminal of the electrolytic cell. So this animation helps us to understand the process of electrolysis of water in detail. You can also perform the electrolysis experiment at home. You need very few things. A electrical setup, okay, a circuit, okay. Then you can use pencil lead as your two electrodes. Okay, so you need pencil lead as two electrodes. Okay, so you can use them and do the connection, and with the help of a source of electricity pass the electric current through the water. You will notice bubble formation. So this experiment gives us idea that when electric current is passing through water, water is getting split into oxygen gas and hydrogen gas. So oxygen gas and hydrogen gas are getting separated at the two separate electrodes. So at the cathode, hydrogen gas bubbles formation you will notice. whereas at the anode oxygen gas bubble formation you will notice. So cathode is what? Which terminal? Negative terminal. Anode is positive terminal. So you may get question for exam. When electrolysis process of water take place, at which electrode hydrogen gas is getting deposited? Your answer is cathode, and at anode oxygen gas is getting deposited. Let us summarize the reaction. When electric current is passed through water, it splits into, as I already told you, hydrogen and oxygen. The process is termed as electrolysis of water. That's a word equation. So water, when electric current is allowed to pass through it, it gets splitting up into oxygen and hydrogen. That's how you write a word equation. That's called word equation. Okay, and that's the experimental setup of electrolysis of water. So we have already seen now electrolysis of water. So when electric current is passed through water, oxygen gas bubbles are produced at the electrode connected to the positive terminal. Means what? It is which terminal? Anode. And the hydrogen gas bubbles are produced at the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of this battery, that is cathode. Very, very important concept. So with this we have seen what is electrolysis process in depth. You can perform, as I already told you, this activity, that is electrolysis of water. How you will do this activity? You need experimental setup, okay, and circuit, or you can say for the circuit or a cell or a battery source for the source of electric current. Then you need electrodes. Here, as I already told you, you can use pencils and you can use leads of the pencil as your electrodes, okay. And you need a beaker, or you can say, if you don't have beaker at home, you can use glass tumbler. So this becomes your experimental setup. With the help of this, you can perform this simple electrolysis experiment. Do it and do comment in the comment section. How did you find this experiment? What were your observations? Okay, please, I'm eager about your observation. Please do comment, and if you find any difficulty, you could not perform it, negative result was obtained, also comment it in the comment section so that we can discuss what was wrong in the experiment. Okay, now we are having another usage of this electric current or chemical effect of the electric. We have seen chemical effect of electric current. What is chemical effect of electric current? It is nothing but when electric current pass through electrolyte, some kind of chemical reaction take place. So this is called chemical effect of electric current, which is having its application in the process called electroplating. So what is electroplating? The process of depositing a layer of any desired metal or another metal by means of electricity or electroplating. We have already seen when chemical reaction take place in an electrolyte, there are certain indicators. So first indicator were deposits of metal at the electrode. So this deposit of metal at the electrode have got application, and that application is called electroplating. So what is electroplating? Kind of metal deposit take place at particular electrode and using electricity. So this entire process happen using electricity, and that process is called electroplating. Electroplating, depositing a layer, electro means using electricity. Here in this experimental setup we have used copper sulfate solution. So we are now going to take copper sulfate solution. Okay, copper sulfate solution, 1 and 2 electrodes are deep into this copper sulfate solution. Okay, this two electrodes are nothing but copper strip. What is it? Copper plates. So here I have used a copper plate. So now what happened? When, so that's a source of electricity. So when electric current is passing through this copper sulfate solution, what is happening to the copper sulfate? How do we write copper sulfate? So copper sulfate is a salt. So the copper gets separate and sulfate gets separate. So this copper metal that gets separate is depositing at this positive terminal of the battery. Which is the positive terminal? That is at the anode. So at which terminal the copper will get deposited? Copper will get copper will get deposit at the anode here. I marked it wrongly. So anode, that is a negative terminal of the electric cell. So when electric current is passing through this copper sulfate solution, copper and sulfate get separated. Copper is getting deposited at the electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the cell, that is at the anode. So here we can see the animation very clearly. Okay, so in this experimental setup, what we have, copper sulfate solution, and that's a copper plate which is connected to the negative terminal of the this electrolytic cell. So here what happened, the copper sulfate is getting separated into copper and sulfate. So copper is getting separated into copper and sulfate. So and this copper which is getting separated into copper and sulfate, so the copper is getting deposited at the negative terminal. Okay, so that is at the anode, and sulfate is going to move towards the cathode, that is positive terminal. So here the copper sulfate salt is getting separated into cations and anion. What are cation? The having positive charge is termed as cation. The one with a negative charge is termed as anion. So copper is cation having positive charge, sulfate is anion having negative charge. The cation will move towards anode. So the positive charge is moving towards, the one which is having positive charge is moving towards anode, and one which is having negative charge, that is anion, will move towards cathode. That's how the electroplating process takes place. Okay, so here you have the picture wherein I have tried to put up everything. So here what we have one copper plate and other we have used a zinc plate. Okay, and what happened in the experimental setup, copper sulfate and copper is getting deposited at anode, and sulfate will get deposited at the cathode. Okay, that's another picture. Now, use of electroplating. Where are we using this electroplating technique? Electroplating is used in industry for coating metal object with a thin layer of desired metal. So it has got very huge and large application in the industry, wherein you can coat metals, one desired metal on another metal. For example, the jewelries, okay, you get since gold and silvers are quite expensive, so you have gold plated jewelry, silver plated jewelries, you must have heard about them, right? So what are they actually? They are nothing but some other metal is there inside, and on top of that metal, gold or a silver metal is been electroplated. So it is less expensive compared to the price of a gold and silver, and everybody can afford it. So those jewelries are called electroplated jewelry. Also tin can, which is used for storing the food. So tin is also very expensive. So what they do, they take the tin can with some, they make the can with some other least expensive metal is used to make those can, and then on top of that can, the tin metal is used to electroplate. So the desired part over here, so because why we are doing it, because since the tin metal is expensive, so least expensive metal is being used there, and then you can use these tin electroplated tin can for storing food. Also, we have heard about galvanization. So zinc coating is done over the iron object. Remember, in the 7th standard we have learned about it. So the process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron object is termed as galvanization. So zinc is used, and why the zinc is deposited on iron object? Because iron is more corrosive in nature, and to protect it from corrosion they deposit a zinc metal on iron object. So these things, again you must have heard about something called chromium plating. Okay, chromium, it is very expensive, um, expensive metal, and this chromium have got very good property, that is it is less corrosive. Okay, it is less corrosive, and because of which it is used to make the automobile parts of vehicles. Now entire, since chromium is very expensive, what they do, so they do chromium plating. Underneath some other metal is there, and top of that chromium metal is being electroplated on it, and that's how the chromium plated parts are being used in automobiles and other vehicles. Okay, so these are the different applications of electroplating. So electroplating have got huge and huge applications. If you know more about it, please do in the comment section. So some of the electroplated object, as I already told you about chromium, which has got shiny appearance and it does not get corroded easily, so less corrosive. So it is being chromium is being electroplated on the parts of bicycle, vehicles, cars, so that they are not going to get corroded. And then you have know that certain silverwares. Okay, so utensils. So these utensils are also being electroplated. So that's all about application of electroplating in day-to-day life. So here we conclude the entire lesson. What did we learn in today's class? We have learned about what is electrolyte and non-electrolyte, electrolyte and non-electrolyte. Then we have seen the process of chemical effect of electric current. We have learned about the process of electrolysis in detail, and we have learned about some of the application of this chemical effect of electric current, that is electroplating. Here is a question, test your skill. If you have understood, you should able to answer these questions in the comment section. Do give your answer. The passage of electric current through a solution causes this effect. So if you know the answer here, please write your answer in the comment. Process of depositing a layer of any metal, desired metal on another metal is termed as step. So if you know any of this answer, please write answer number 1. What is the answer? Question number 2. What is the answer in the comment section. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel and hit on the bell icon so that you are going to get notification about the latest videos, and you do give thumbs up.